Okay, so here's this is the repair job for tonight, and this is a fringe, a champagne bucket, and it comes from my neighbor that goes to France a couple times a year and buys antiques at flea markets, broken antiques. Anyway, I call him Pepe Le Pew. Anyway, he buys all these stinky antiques and then brings them over to me for repairs. Now this one's got a little seam split here that we're going to take care of. And these are soldered together, and that's how we say it here in the U.S. So the L is silent. Okay, so here's our little problem here. This thing got clonked here in the bottom, and it separated the seam here. Now these things, one of the things that I try to do with this is it has this patina on it, right? And we don't, want to clean a giant area around this, although, ideally for soldering, we would do that, and, clean is what you want. So we're really just going to clean it really minimally, and the idea here is I'll push these out so that they meet up really tight again, and I'll flux it, and we're just going to try to reflow the solder that's there. So it's separated. If we can push those back into alignment nicely, we should be able to reflow that joint and seal it up again without disturbing much of what's going on here. Let's see if we can, you can see the inside there. So, it's not optimal, but, we want to, part of what makes this thing special is the look of the thing. So let's first work on getting those lined up and get this poofed back out a little bit, so. Okay, so we got just a chunk of Delrin here that I've kind of softened the edge on and smoothed that out. And we're just going to use this like a stake in the vise here, and to come up in the inside here and try to push that up. So I'm just going to rub it and put pressure on it and hopefully bring this back up. Okay, so it's already working. We got something a little more stubborn there, so. Okay, so I may get a little slapper and give that a little some love taps on that. But there's our little spot there. So let me get a little slapper, and then let's see if we can raise that a little bit. Okay, so I got a wood leather face slapper here, and we're just going to give it some glancing blows there. And once again, it's not about the perfection of the repair, right? It's part of what's unique about these objects is their little dents and scuffs, and and you can see where this is worn through to the brass, through the silver plating or whatever plating that is, and the brass is showing. So I think what I want to do is I want to work on some of these little wrinkles here on the inside. So we need a different tool for that. Okay, so some of you guys have probably wondered for a while now what this piece of railroad track on the bench is for, but this is just the kind of thing it's for. So we can extend it out and then clamp it down. And now I have a nice mandrel sticking out that I can work on top of here like this and support the work with something that's pretty firm. So we're just going to do a little tapping on that. Might be a little bit wide. It's got a curve to it, so let's give it a couple little to tap on the inside a little bit. That's a little tricky, but we can do it. This thing's got bigger problems here. Alright. So there's a little crack that's extended up here. That as I'm pushing on it a little bit, it's opened up. So this is going to be one of those extra special ones here. I'm probably just going to do some cleaning and see if I can get these joined up now, and then hopefully bump them around a little bit to. Actually, that's actually looking pretty good right there. That would. No, I want to tap it out. Okay, I got to get some more stuff out here. Okay, so I got a little dinker here. I'm just going to support it and do a little gentle just to kind of push those two edges back into alignment so we can get a good joint. So I want to work that spot a little bit. This little cross peen here allows me to get into that corner with that angle. I think I'm going to get a little plastic block in here and do a little tapping on that just to straighten it out. And then we'll try some soldering. All right, let's see how that feels. That's probably sturdy enough. This really thin stuff like this, you don't need a lot of support. It's always tempting to correct more than you really should. Alright, looks like I gotta tap a little bit out there. Is it possible that that's made out of... Hard to say. You know, I was starting to think that it was made out of multiple pieces because of the seam on the inside. I don't know. Not quite sure how it's put together. But it transitions from this the polygon down to the circle, so there's this transition area here that we want to try to preserve too. get the soldering kit out. So, probably not going to use this one. You know, for some of these smaller repairs, I prefer electric irons, just because you can really focus in on the spot you want to do, as opposed to using the torch. So I think that's what we're going to try here. I got a couple of big guys there. I think that's 500 watts there. What is that one? 350 for that one. But actually, for these little repairs, these little ones here are real precise. These are American Beauties here, and they're real precise. You see these at the flea market in pretty good shape. You know, $5 sometimes. All right, so let's plug this in and get her heating up. Okay, and I'm just gonna clamp it in the vise over here, out of my way. Let it get nice and hot. Then I got the secret flux and various braiding tools here. So I don't see what I want though. What I want is a little TIG brush right now. Okay, let me go get one. Well, this is just a little Scotch-Brite here. And that's a stainless TIG brush. That might be about worth a try right there. See what we can do. Like I said, you try to do as little as possible with the finish that's on there, so you're not really ripping it off. So let me rinse it, give it a little alcohol rinse, and then we'll try to solder that. Now we're going to put a little flux on here. This is Harris Stay Clean flux. Close that up so you don't knock it over. Okay, so I got a, this is Salomoniac, this is a tinning block here. So we're just gonna get a little bit on there. A little solder. And that keeps your iron clean. See, it's nice and shiny. It's not dull. Okay. Well, let's just see if we can reflow that. Actually, I need to. So a little drop of solder gives me a little heat bridge. This may not have enough oomph for this, but we'll see. I should move the camera actually. Yeah, I think this is gonna work. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna move the camera, I think. Let's try that. It's getting hot. I can see the flux bubbling a little bit. A little spot I don't like the look of. Little bastard. Oh, there we go. Alright. Alright, now we gotta do something with that thing. I really want to do the inside of that. Let's see if I can reach to the inside. Let me move things around. Okay, I was working on the inside, so I couldn't shine the camera in there, and I needed more light, so I think we got it, and I'll bring you in for a close-up, but here's the section that we fixed here, and you can just see a teeny little line of solder there, and then where the seam was separated here. And this is probably all I'm going to do here. I'll do a little scraping. I've done a little bit. I do a little scraping with this just to kind of shape it a little bit. Any streaks or whatever of the solder, I just kind of scrape it a little bit to give it a pleasing contour. And then I'll put some water in it and set it on a piece of paper. Just put a little bit of water in the bottom, and actually probably up to here, and then set it on a piece of paper and let it sit overnight and see if it has any leaks. And if it does, then figure out where they are and go after them. But that's pretty typical of one of these little repairs. He said, you can kind of go nuts with them if you're not careful. So I found that the best on this is to go easy, do a real minimal thing, and he's happy, and it doesn't take as long either. And anyway, help out Pepe Le Pew. Let's zoom you guys in a little bit on this. Okay, so there's get my little pointer there. So there's where the seam was separated here, about from here to here. And then this is the crack that had propagated up into this region here. I did that one more from the inside because it was just a natural place to do it. This one is a little easier to do on the outside here. So I think it's a water check, and then give it back to him. Anyway, thanks for watching.